Going straight to some news just coming in. The chorus to drop off form. Virat Kohli is growing now. After couple days now, ex-pacer Prasad has spoken. Former pacer Venkatesh Prasad tweeted in a quote, "There was a time when you were out of form, you would be dropped irrespective of reputation." Sourav, Sehwag, Yuvraj Zaheer, Bhajji, all of them have been dropped when not in form. They have gone back to domestic cricket, scored runs and staged a comeback. The yardsticks seem to have changed drastically now, where there is rest for being out of form. This is no way to progress. There is so much talent in the country and can't play on repetition. One of India's greatest match winner, Anil Kumble, sat out on so many occasions. Need actions for larger good. Demands in fact growing for Virat Kohli to essentially step back. Given that he has not been informed, there are several former cricketers including Kapil Dev. Also ex-pacer Prasad now hitting out Venkatesh Prasad, saying that there was a time when many of these cricketers had to sit out. So why have the standards and the yardsticks now changed? Nikhil Naz, our consulting editor, is getting us more details and perspective on that story. While there is a section who are saying that why should the yardsticks now change for Virat Kohli, there are others who have said, that this is unfair and that Virat Kohli must continue. So the opinion is split, Nikhil, right in the middle, isn't it?
Well, that's right, Sneha. If you'd asked me this question maybe 3 to 4 months ago, I would have said no question on Virat Kohli. There's no way that anyone could even think of leaving him out of the Indian team. However, his continuous run of poor form has now started raising these questions. And now, as you mentioned, there is a debate. And I also, gauging from the fan reaction on social media, not just what the experts or what former players are saying, even gauging from fan reactions, a lot of people out there do feel that maybe it's time to look beyond Virat Kohli in just the T20 format. Now, when we talk about Virat Kohli, we're looking at Virat Kohli, the batsman in all formats, and he's been outstanding. In fact, if I just look at T20 cricket, his overall figures are probably the best in the world. The kind of runs that he's got at an average, at the strike rate that he gets, it's all outstanding. But I think the other reality alongside that is the fact that India has been waiting to get that ICC trophy for a long time. The last time they held an ICC trophy was way back in 2013. They've had a few disappointments after that, be it the 2015 World Cup, the 2019 World Cup, and then more recently the T20 World Cup in 2021. And I think what every fan or a former player at the moment wants is India to lift that coveted ICC trophy, which is going to happen this year in Australia. And I think this debate has started looking at that particular tournament. Also because now we've gotten to see, now the reality of Indian cricket is that we now have a situation, there are a lot of cricket happening, so a lot of bench strength being tested. So we had a series in Ireland recently where you tested a few batsmen that don't get a regular opportunity to play, and they've all come good. So the debate now is that these youngsters, who you give them a chance, you see them in the IPL, they're doing well. Should a more established player be holding on to his place and not allow a youngster then to be in the team? And I think that's where the debate is. For the moment, the reality is such, if you heard from Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain, he's come out and backed Virat Kohli. He said that, listen, Virat Kohli, we know from within inside the circle, within the team, we know that he's an essential part of our team and we're going to back him. So people can say whatever they want on the outside. Experts, as you call them, this is quote unquote what Rohit said last night, referring to, let's say, a Kapil Dev or a Venkatesh Prasad whose tweets you've just taken. He said experts may have an opinion, but we know from the inside what's happening. And I think that this is not mere lip service from Rohit Sharma. If you take a look at how Virat Kohli has been playing, he's been playing to the template, the new template that the Indian team is trying to come up with. So it clearly indicates that he's in the plans of this Indian team. That said, the T20 World Cup isn't too far away. There will be 16, 17 games before you select the team for that T20 World Cup. And God forbid if Virat Kohli doesn't find his form back, and then the other youngsters knocking on the door. So it's going to be a close call whether Virat Kohli then makes it to that T20 World Cup, to that flight that will be going to Australia.
Nikhil, I'm just wondering what prompted Rohit Sharma to come out and say these things that he has. Yes, he's supporting Virat Kohli, defending his slump in form really there. But to say that what makes these people experts is something that I would see it rather as a snub to all of these cricketers like Kapil Dev, who's come out and said that this is not okay, isn't it?
Well, that's true. In fact, he used the word saying, why do you call them experts? I mean, he may have a point. I think he wasn't really, trying to target them. And he said maybe expert may not be the right word to use for them. And maybe you could use something like a former player. That said, he did say that we from the inside, and he didn't agree with the experts or former players, saying that we from the inside have a different view, which may be the truth. It quite often happens that, what the team is thinking or the team management is thinking is very different for people who are on the outside, whether they are fans, whether they're journalists, whether they are former players. That may be the reality, but he can't ignore what is being said on the outside. But I must tell you that while you agree that the view within the team is going to be more, the emphasis is going to be what tactical changes have to be made, or what is the kind of template you're going to be playing with. The view from the outside is also important, and sometimes when you're within, you can't get that 360-degree view, which a former player can. So sometimes I think whoever the captain would be, and it's very normal for a captain to back his player, no less than a player like Virat Kohli, who's been an outstanding servant to the game. But sometimes it helps to take that outside view as well, because that actually tells you, what may be going wrong. Sometimes you're so consumed with the daily routine in terms of your training, or, planning your 11, or what kind of template you're going to play with, that sometimes you tend not to see the bigger picture. And then for that reason, I think they need to be receptive to what is being said. However, I must tell you, whatever the team might decide, and I think the captain will play a role in who will be selected or not, and Rohit Sharma is going to be very, very crucial for that. But there are other people also who are sitting on the outside. When I say outside, they're not part of that team, whether they are the selectors, whether they are some very important members of the BCCI, that will also play a role when eventually the team is decided, and whether then the captain and everyone else who will be part of that decision-making process are on the same page. That will be interesting going forward. For the moment, as I said, you can see indications, and as I said, I don't think what Rohit Sharma is saying is just mere lip service or just backing his player for the sake of the media. There's clearly something that has been spoken between Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. You can make that out just by the nature of the shots that Virat Kohli has played in the last two T20s. If you've seen Virat Kohli over the years, you know that he's a bit of a grafter. He takes his time, he likes to get set and then get going, but he's been playing overly aggressive the last few T20 games, which tells you that he's trying to come in line with what the team wants to go forward.